Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how easy it is to make your very own nut milk. I like to do this myself at home for various reasons. One, because it's cheaper than buying store-bought nut milks. Two, because I know exactly what's going into it. I know myself when I make it, it's really just nuts, salt, and water. Sometimes when you get it from the store, there's other additives in it to extend the shelf life of it, and those are some things that I don't want to put into my body. And also, I know the sourcing of the nuts that I'm buying. I know these are non-GMO organic nuts that I'm using to make my nut milk. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so what I've done so far is I put 1 cup of nuts into my bowl here. Today I'm doing half macadamia nut, half Brazil nut. I love this combination because number one, the macadamia nuts are just plain delicious. They're a great source of healthy fats. I like to try to put the Brazil nuts into my diet, and this is a great way to do it. It's a good source of selenium, good for your thyroid health, so this is a great way to sneak it in. You can do this same exact process with almonds. You could do the same process with cashews. Whatever nut that you like, those are some great combinations, but try it with a bunch of different kinds and see what you like. So this is just what I tend to do, and I use this in my tea. So I have my 1 cup of nuts. The next thing I'm going to do is, this is Redmond's real salt. I'm literally just going to sprinkle a pinch of salt. I don't measure it out. And then I'm going to cover the nuts with water. So I'm going to put enough water in it so that they're covered. So I have the water in here, and I'm going to let these soak for 7 to 8 hours. The reason I'm doing that is because nuts contain anti-nutrients that make it harder for your body to digest, and by soaking them, it starts that digestive process and makes it easier for you to digest them. The only exception to the rule here is when you do cashews. When you soak cashews, you only want to soak them for 6 hours and no more than that. Other nuts can go 7, 8 hours, even overnight longer. The reason you don't want to do that with cashews is because they can get a little bit slimy. Some people say you don't need to soak Brazil nuts, but since I'm doing them with the macadamia nuts, I find that it's just easier to toss them in there. So jury's out whether you need to soak the Brazil nuts or not, but I just go ahead and do it. I don't notice a difference either way. So I'm gonna let this sit for 7 to 8 hours, and then I'll show you the next step. All right, you guys, these nuts have been soaking for about 7 to 8 hours. So I'm gonna just take the water that's in here now and drain them out in the sink. Okay, and then I'm gonna add to my blender 4 cups of water. Another pinch of salt. I'm gonna add the nuts. Yeah, I got the nuts in here. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this blender on low for about 30 seconds. Now that I've run it on low for 30 seconds, I'm gonna hit high and run it for about 2 minutes. All right, you guys, so this ran for about 30 seconds on low, 2 minutes on high. We love this Blendtec blender. I'm sure there are a lot of other great ones out there. If you don't have an amazing blender like this, you should get one because we use it all the time. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna pour all the liquid that's in here into this nut bag. You can get this off of Amazon. We'll drop the link below. Just pour it right in here. You might wanna wait a few seconds before you touch it too. I waited a few seconds, minutes, because it can get hot being in that blender for so long. So then you're just gonna squeeze it. So it's in this bag, and you wanna get all that liquid out. Don't squeeze too much too fast because, you know, it could get all over your clothes. It's happened to me before. So I'm just gonna squeeze, squeeze, squeeze until all this liquid is out. Seriously, I've done it before where I squeezed it too hard too fast, and it just went all over the place. Now, if you like your nut milk a little bit sweeter, you can go through this process and then blend it again and throw in, you know, half a date or a little bit of vanilla extract. I just like it like this. I find that the macadamia nut is pretty sweet, so I don't add anything else to it. If I want to add something, I just add it when I make my tea, but if you don't want to add it later, you could just do it now. You want to milk this nut for all she's worth.
That's a good one.
So when I'm done with this, there's going to be some pulp from the nuts left behind. You can Google search lots of different things to do with it. I find the easiest thing to do is to put it in my compost thing right here and feed it to my chickens, because I'm not all about reusing this, but I know people that have then taken it and maybe dried it out or used it to make protein balls or something like that. But honestly, I have no problem just kind of throwing this in with the chickens because they like it. So I found that when I do almonds, there's a lot more left behind, but this is really all that's left from the macadamia nut and the Brazil nut. So that's why I really don't have that much of a problem with just tossing it, because it's really not a lot. So I'm just gonna toss that in the compost later. Now, really all that's left is to bottle up that nut milk. All right, all that's left now is to take everything that I squeezed out and pour it into my jar here. This is good for about 5 to 7 days in the fridge. So not too long, but you're gonna find that this tastes better than what you would buy at the store. So that's it, you guys. It is super simple to make your own nut milk. If you're buying it from the store, I highly encourage you to give this a try. I'm gonna go ahead and put my lid on it. Tomorrow morning when I go to use it, I'm just gonna shake it up because sometimes it separates a little bit overnight, but it's perfectly good. Give it a try if you haven't already. Hope you enjoyed watching. See you guys soon.